Gearing up over here and getting a few things set. I should be on in a few minutes. And I just sneezed, but you didn't have to hear that. Oh. Okay, y'all, we about to get started here. You hear me clicky clacking around, no doubt. It is Tuesday afternoon, which means we're here together, about to get some live coding going. Let me just take care of a couple of things. Okay, here we go. There's like 12 steps I have to take for my live stream setup, and I always forget a few of them. I should really make a go time checklist or something like that. You'd think I would have done that by now, given that we've been doing this for 4 years or so. Shoot, is it that long? 4 years? Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. All right, well, let's edit some stream info so I can talk about working on customizing open edX Hawthorne. Category shoot. Software development, web development, educational, engineering, design, programming. You can only select up to 5 tags at a time. Well, we're going to get rid of... Oh, some of these are like stuck. Perfect. Done. Okay. Where are we? Am I here? Are you there? It don't matter. All right. Bring it on, y'all. So, where's my face? Yeah, hello. It is Tuesday afternoon. It is time for me to do my live streaming thing. As always, I'm here. My name is Mike Bifulco. I'm technical director for thegymnasium.com. I live stream about once a week. Ooh, my webcam's a little tall there. I'm down here. I live stream about once a week. Ooh, and I'm off screen? No. Yes? Let's try. to hide the microphone a bit. Well, that's good enough. Y'all can probably hear me, right? Once a week, I live stream talking about what I'm building for Gymnasium here. We have been working on a few projects over the past few months. This is the second live stream of the new year, so it's a little bit disjointed, and I want to walk through a few different things today that I saw that I wanted to get through. And I think first, we're gonna do a few different things. I think I want to show you for our Gym UI project, our component library, that there's a big update to Storybook, which is what we use to display and build the component library. They just released something today that I want to show off a bit, play around with, whatever you want to call it. I would also like to go through some of the stuff we were working on last week with theming on Hawthorn and get around to some of the steps that I've been able to debug my way through, struggle my way through since our last stream, and show you what we found. And also, I wanted to do some debugging of an issue that I found on the front end project. We'll save that for last if we get there today. It's a bit of an ambitious schedule, but I think that's a good place to start. So, yeah, I think we can do that. As always, let me switch over to, I've got this new view today, by the way, of just my face, which I've not done before. So Gymnasium, if you're unfamiliar with us, we are a free, self-paced, online, video-based code design school where you can learn tools and technologies and skills and all sorts of good things having to do with being a creative person online today. Our courses are free. They're always free. They're 24/7 available for you to take from wherever in the world you can access our website. We have a new Take 5 out today, which you will see on the homepage once my stream is over. It's called Creating a Harmonious Color Scheme with HSL. It's a 5-minute course. If you can listen to me blabbering on for an hour and a half or any subset of this, you can get through this Take 5 and you're going to love it. We have a whole slew of new Take 5 courses that we've released over the past few months. I would love it if you check them out and drop us a line on Twitter. Let us know what you think. Okay, so first let's go look at Storybook and we'll talk about their new release. So I saw this come across on Twitter earlier. They released 5.3.3 already, I guess, but we want to talk about their 5.3 release, which contains some big updates for custom documentation, web components framework support, which is pretty cool, and a declarative configuration in main.js. The docs thing is probably the most interesting. If you recall, we have been using 5.3.0-beta stuff for a while, and then we switched over to the release candidates. I don't know if I did any of the release candidate stuff on stream, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that project. Am I going to open up that project? Yes, I am. Gym UI. I'm going to pull it up on my local environment here. And we're going to create a new branch after zooming in so that you can see it. Ooh, look at that. Let me see if I can. I don't know what. Maybe it's better if I do this so that. What am I dragging around here? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got a whole lot of stuff going on here. I'm trying to make it so that there's less overlap of, there we go, webcam and coterie, so that you can see more of this stuff. Apparently my screen aspect ratio isn't exactly perfect for what we're doing here, but that's okay. You probably also don't really need to see my apps running at the bottom of the screen there. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know how to do that. Display capture. Nah, we'll let it be. Okay, good enough. So we're gonna come in here. We have zoomed in already. We're gonna create a new branch. So we're going to. Tell you what, I don't really like doing that through VS Code's interface. So I'm gonna do that from Tower, my usual Git client. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna grab master. We're gonna create a new branch. We're gonna call it feature slash. Yeah, we'll call it maintenance / storybook update. And in there, we're going to we're going to do a yarn. Oh, actually, we have a few steps we're going to take here. No lock file in this directory. Right, the UI project uses npm, which I find very frustrating. But there's a couple of things I want to do here. We are going to bump up our Node version. So 12 is now the long-term supported version of Node. 8 went out of support this year. I didn't even realize it. So I sort of gave 10 a miss altogether. We're going to do an npm I to install things. That's going to run in the background. And in the meanwhile, we're going to look at the docs here and see what breaking changes are in place. Hundreds more fixes and tweaks, browse the change logs, matching the alpha, beta, and RC for a full list. See migration for an upgrade from 5.0 or earlier. I think I actually already did that work because we've been running that beta for a long time. So let's look at the documentation stuff. So we did some of this stuff where we started to generate docs page stuff. We're using Markdown. We have some of that in place. Oh, this is crazy cool. Huh, okay. So actually a lot of this stuff is already in use for us. So I think we just really need to update this and poke around with it and we can see what the differences are. Man, I apologize for this. I always should do this stuff before the stream because it slows down so much when I am also uploading my stream content on my connection here. But heaps of good stuff here. I think I even saw a tweet that this CSF component story format, which Storybook uses, is now exportable or in some way compatible with Sketch, so that you can pull these things into, Sketch and Figma and even a few others. We'll run this next. Oh. While we're waiting for that, I may as well introduce what I'm hoping to work on next on stream. So last week we were working on our Hawthorn install for Gymnasium, and I got stuck on a step where basically we were at the point where we needed to configure our custom theme for edX Hawthorn, and I couldn't figure out how to get to the command line to edit the configuration files that Ansible usually accesses to update that theme. In the interim, I got in touch with the fine folks who've been helping me with that environment, figured out what I need to do and where I need to go, and basically now we're at the point where we can configure that theme and start playing around with it and see just how badly everything's broken from our old theme. I actually don't think it's going to be too terribly bad, but a lot of it remains to be seen. As we get in here. So as we get in further, some of that will become apparent, but the theme structure shares a lot with the older version, at least the location for assets like our SAS files and our images and other collateral that we use to build the site is all relatively similar to what it once was. So that's good news. And we should be able to go in and actually test that out on stream today, I believe. I think. We'll find out. You guys remember way early days of the stream, I spent a lot of time customizing our theme on stream, and a lot of what we did was wait for SAS to compile. Hopefully that's not part of the world we live in anymore. And SAS compilation occurs in a background process on the fly. We'll see. So I'm going to wait for this thing to go through. It looks like it's 2/3 done, but it's hard to say. We'll get back to it in a second here. Sorry for the wait. Let's go. Oops. Look at that. That's not what I want. That's better. Now we're getting somewhere. Is it a coincidence that only started happening once I killed Time Machine on my laptop? Maybe. Am I willing to find out? Not really, no. Okay. Found one moderate severity vulnerability. Is that it? You can tell me what it is? 78 packages are looking for funding. Cool, man. NPM, I don't miss using it. Okay. Let's run the command from the docs here. Today's end of life for Windows 7, apparently. I fondly remember the release of Windows 7. Sitting at my desk as a recent college hire at Microsoft. Those were the days. Okay. npm install once again. Okay, so now in theory, if I come in here and I pull up in this, we'll see all 533s here. So if I do yarn start, ooh, that is not how you spell start. Yarn start. Look at that. I've got a topic here that's wrong. Okay. I'm back. So this will compile and fire up the storybook, and we can see the differences here. We can also take a look at the files that have changed, which should just be package and package lock. We've updated our node version. That's all good. Probably also need to come in here and go to config.yml and change this to node. We got to figure out which Docker image to use. We're going to have to do that before we push this up to the cloud. So we can start on that while we're waiting for Storybook to become alive by looking at the pre-built Circle CI Docker images. Node. Why are we in? No, don't hijack. Come on. So for node, we're going to do probably a way to call out LTS here. LTS-browsers. I feel like that is good. Rather than pinning it to a number, we'll do long-term support browsers. I like that better. Might not be the best idea, actually. I don't know. That feels like an area where maybe pinning a version could make sense, but okay, there's our storybook started up. It is loading on my other screen here, so I'll bring it in, give this thing a second, and any minute we'll have our storybook in place. So this all looks familiar. We've got a dark mode now, which oh, that must just be activated for this story specifically. But there's our storybook, so we're updated to the latest. We can also go to the docs and see our beautiful docs that are generated with props from the components that are feeding it, stories for each component, etc., etc. And if we wanted to, we could export these docs alone to a docs page site on Netlify or on GitHub pages or whatever it may be. For our purposes, we're actually building the entire storybook and sending it off to Netlify. and it serves a couple of purposes for us. We can see these components in situ, but also just kind of the way we work, this has been a reasonable way for us to take a look at these things. And given kind of that I'm the only developer for it, it's been a functional path. So here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to commit this stuff. We're going to say node to LTS and Storybook updates. We'll commit that. We will push it. And I will work on a pull request for that off stream because you've seen me do that a bunch of times. So next step, we're going to switch gears. So that was really all I wanted to show you for the Storybook. Big release. You should go check out this documentation if you're working with Storybook. It's all really good. I think we've done that. Ooh. I may actually have an older version of this set up, but it appears to be working. Add-ons. I have it in add-ons, I see. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to let it be for now. It's working, it's running. No reason to break that further. So we've pushed this up. I've now stopped it running locally, hopefully to save some memory, and we're going to switch gears. So I'm going to open a new VS Code window and connect to my remote environment on my second browser here. Give me a sec. We should connect momentarily. And we don't need that any longer. We probably don't need this, but that's okay. This thing, oop. What am I doing here? Okay, that didn't work. 1 second. Got my windows situated here. I'm trying to keep things relatively organized before I start the stream. It doesn't always work. Let's get this connection going. So while it's connecting, which can take a second, all right, cool. Second time appears to be the charm. Right? Is it working? Looks like it wants to work. Okay. We did it. So we're connected. I'm going to go pull up these edX docs and I will show you where we got stumped the last time. So the trick where we were stuck was on editing this file, the comprehensive theming setting in the LMS env, and now, thanks to the magic of command line goodness, I have access to that lms.env.json. So we're going to look for enable comprehensive theming, and we're going to set it to true. Okay. We aren't going to touch Studio or e-commerce right now. We don't have a theme for those guys. Now for each OpenEdX component that you want to apply a theme to, add the absolute path of the themes directory to the comprehensive themeders configuration property. So we have to figure out what that absolute path is from the perspective of this machine. So if you recall, we have this remote machine set up that has our edX environment. So I'll show you what's here. Let me do it this way. Having trouble typing today. Okay, here we go. So we're going to pull up our themes directory. And we can see in our themes directory, we have a bunch of themes set up. So in here, we do not have our gymnasium theme yet. And that's the trick. That is what we were missing from last week. So I had cloned our theme to an incorrect directory. So I'm going to grab our github.com/gymnasium/edX theme git path and clone it in here. So we'll do git clone. We'll copy this. And we're going to rename that in the edX theme to gymnasium. So now we have our gymnasium folder, which is our gymnasium theme. We're going to do git checkout origin/Hawthorn. What did I do? You can look around, make experimental changes, and commit them. You can discard any commits you make in this state without impacting any branches by switching back to a branch. If you want to create a new branch and retain commits you create, you can do so. I thought I created that branch already. I sure did. Okay. I think I might need a -b. Okay, great. I did. So now I'm in my Hawthorne branch. I don't believe I'll be able to see this from in here for some adorable reason. Next platform themes. Gymnasium. Oh, I can see it. Okay, that's fun. So inside of our gymnasium theme, if I go into here, I should be able to get command line access to that same spot. Now, so here's what we want to do is, right, our working directory is this. This is the absolute path to that theme. So we're going to do we grab that absolute path and we need to put it in comprehensive theme dirs. So in here, we're going to, this is just an array. So for Studio, for the LMS, add the path to comprehensive theme dirs in edX, edX app, LMS, and .json. So we're going to do that. Oops, shoot. So there's our theme directory for this guy. Restart all servers. No, you can create more than one themes directory for your Open edX installation. To use multiple themes directories, include the path to each directory in the configuration property. The following example shows a configuration for multiple themes directories. We will not need to do that. But we do know that we're going to have to do some file shuffling in the actual theme directory. And so if you recall from last week, we have our edX, the name of our theme, then it needs to be under LMS and static and templates. So, no, we do have that. Great. For some reason, I thought we made another folder last week. Okay, so now we have to restart all servers. So I'm going to do that with the help of a make command, which will be do devstack dot there's not a restart here. We'll try devstack dot run. Okay, we're now up and running. So we're gonna do, open up the LMS, which is here. No, I'm sorry, not 8,000, 18,000. Great. So what this says to do is to, first of all, we'll confirm that this is working. We're gonna go to your URL/admin, so we wanna go to there. This gets us to the Django site administration. From here, make sure you've created a theme and you know the identifier of the theme. We do that. Sign into Django administration console for your base URL, for example. So that's a good question. What is the admin login? Question I have is, who do I need to log in as? Staff is the LMS and Studio user. Verified as a student. Audit is a student. Honor is a student. Well, is it possible that it's me? Right. Problem after problem here. Okay. Configuring a site. This sucks as an instruction. Yeah, but who though? Oh my god, and of course they have no issues on this repo. There's no wiki. Admin password, let's try that. Such typical fucking docs here. Okay. There's also a simpler management command for what you're trying to do called set superuser. Here's that good old simple command. I would have guessed this for sure. Set the LMS CFG in variable. Boy. Boo. At least we figured it out, I think. Nope, we didn't figure it out. That's for the execute interface. All right. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, this is super awesome. Just looking for what the user might be. This is absurd. Get me out of there. Okay. So the problem here is that we are missing a config of some sort. Oh my god. I got no clue, y'all. This is fucking stupid. I'm missing something, I'm sure very simple. It's such a stupid thing to have a developer environment that has exhaustive documentation, not be able to explain things like this in a way that is reasonable. Okay, maybe that is what we needed. No, we were doing the same thing before. edX app is not in the sudo file. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're running essentially the same command, just with a different settings thing, and it was complaining about that anyway. So much of running OpenEdX is contingent on being a fucking expert on Unix. And the minute little details they've set up the environment with is freaking infuriating. Okay, well, look, I don't know where to go with this, and I'm just gonna have to go and post on here and ask for help with the same thing that a billion people have asked for help with, but they've never bothered to put in the documentation on setting up DevStack. So, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go do that. Go do some screaming into a pillow. And we will pick this up when I get an answer. For now, I'm going to sign off so I can go take care of this because I need to make progress on this and it's driving me nuts. I will catch you guys next week. Hope we learned something. I know maybe I did, for sure. Maybe. As always, thanks for hanging out. We will see you same time next week, Tuesday afternoon. Until then, get at me on Twitter. See you guys.